At 500 feet long and weighing nearly 10,000 tons, the SS Waratah was a massive, heavy structure of steel and iron. In July 1909, this ship left Durban, South Africa. On board were 211 people, passengers and crew, heading down the coast for a routine stop in Cape Town. Usually, when a ship of this size goes down, it leaves a physical footprint. Even in the most catastrophic sinkings, distress signals are sent, lifeboats are launched, debris floats to the surface, and eventually searchers locate a wreck on the ocean floor. But after July 26th, the Waratah produced none of that. No bodies washed ashore, no distress call was heard, no wooden wreckage was ever found floating in the shipping lanes, and no sunken hull was ever located. A 10,000-ton vessel does not vanish by magic. The complete erasure of the Waratah required a specific alignment of variables, primitive communication technology, a fatal engineering flaw, and a violent ocean environment that actively scrubbed the evidence clean. The first gap in the historical record is the silence. If a ship this large was in trouble, why didn't the crew simply call for help? In 1909, maritime communication was highly limited. While wireless transmitting equipment existed, regulators considered it a luxury rather than a mandatory safety feature. The owners of the Waratah had not installed a wireless system, and there was no radio operator on the crew manifest. Once the ship sailed out of visual range of the coastline, it was entirely disconnected from the outside world. Any disaster that struck would be completely silent. The next missing piece is the absence of lifeboats. Launching a heavy wooden lifeboat required significant manual labor, complex rigging, and most importantly, time. During the first leg of its journey, multiple passengers and crew members reported that the ship felt dangerously top-heavy. One passenger, Claude Sawyer, was so alarmed by how slowly the ship recovered from rolling in the waves that he abandoned his journey early. This diagram shows how a top-heavy ship interacts with a steep swell. The waters off South Africa are known for rogue waves, massive walls of water that form unpredictably. A ship with a high center of gravity is highly vulnerable to these extreme impacts. When struck broadside by a large enough wave, that high center of gravity shifts past the point of no return. Instead of rolling and stabilizing, the hull rapidly inverts. A 1911 official board of inquiry concluded that the Waratah suffered exactly this fate. A catastrophic capsize would have flipped the ship in a matter of seconds, plunging it underwater before anyone on board could reach a life vest or unhook a single boat. Even if the ship sank instantly, a massive steel hole still rests on the ocean floor. So why haven't a century of modern sonar mapping located it? This map illustrates the oceanography of the South African wild coast. The primary feature is the Agulhas Current, a massive, fast-moving body of water that sweeps southward down the coastline. This current acts as a high-speed conveyor belt. Any loose items from a sinking ship, like wooden deck chairs or life rings, are caught in this flow, which disperses it outward into the vast open ocean within hours. Beneath the surface, the seabed here is heavily scarred by deep chasms and towering rocky outcrops. This jagged terrain creates natural sonar shadows, blind spots where acoustic signals are blocked, easily hiding a 500-foot steel hull from deep-sea scanning equipment. The ocean itself acted as an active eraser. The surface currents swept away the floating evidence, and the turbulent underwater topography concealed the wreckage, leaving a clean slate before search vessels even arrived. The loss of the Waratah sent a shockwave through the global maritime industry. It was absolute proof that modern, ironclad vessels were still highly vulnerable to the physical forces of the ocean. The lack of physical evidence forced naval architects to heavily scrutinize commercial ship stability standards. It served as a brutal stress test for engineering codes, occurring just 3 years before the Titanic disaster would push those reforms even further. For the families of the 211 people on board, the erasure of the Waratah meant they were left with no definitive answers. They had no confirmed location of a wreck and no grave to visit. The SS Waratah remains a humbling historical data point. Despite the immense scale of human engineering, the ocean still possesses the mechanical capacity to swallow our creations whole and leave absolutely nothing behind.